all know how to formulate mathematically. And then we went into graphical method. In your graphical method, just we have written the procedure and the steps, how you'll have to do it. And I gave you the question. You will have to, I told you to solve the question. I'll write the problem on the board again. Okay. So subject to the constraints, I had given you minus 2x1 plus x2 less than or equal to 1. X1 is less than or equal to 2. X1 plus x2 is less than or equal to 3. And the negativity restrictions are there. X1, x2 is greater than or equal to 0. So this was the question which has been given. What I told you was your first step is to write your inequality constraints as equality constraint. So these are your inequality constraints. So these inequality constraints, you will take it as x2 is equal to 1. You will take this as first equation. And then your x1 is equal to 2 as your second equation. And then your x1 plus x2 is equal to 3 as your third equation. Okay? So that will be your first step. After writing your first step, I told you to solve the equation such a way that you get a straight line. Okay, where you'll have to draw it. Okay, for this equation, we will substitute x1 is equal to 0, whatever value you'll have to get for your x2. Similarly, x2 is equal to 0, get your x1 value. So, in your equation 1, we will put your x1 is equal to 0 in your first equation. Okay, when you put your first x1 is equal to 0 in your first equation, it will become x2 is equal to 1. X2 is equal to 1. So this point, if you see, you will write this point as 0, comma 1. When you put your x1 is equal to 0 in your first equation, your x2 is equal to 1, and that point will become 0, comma 1. And then we will put in the same equation, we'll put x2 is equal to 0 in your first equation. So when you put x2 is equal to 0, what will become your x1? So x2 is equal to 0, you have to put. When you put your x2 is equal to 0, okay, you're able to see, isn't it? When your x2, is it glaring? So when you put your x2 is equal to 0, you'll be having minus 2x1, okay, is equal to 1. So from that, your x1 is equal to minus 1 by 2. Okay, so this will be the point. 1 by 2 is nothing but 0.5. Okay, so this point will be your minus 0.5, comma, your x2 is 0. Okay, so for your first equation, we have got this point and this point. Okay, for your second equation, it is directly x1 is equal to 2. So directly we can draw it. Next, we'll have to find out for your third equation. For your third equation, what you'll have to do, same way we will put x1 is equal to 0, find out your x2. We will put x1 is equal to 0 in your third equation. Okay, when you substitute it in the third equation, your x1 is equal to 0, x2 will be equal to what?
I have admitted, ma'am. Admitted.
Yeah. Okay. So your x2 is equal to 3. So this point will become 0, comma 3. Okay. When you substitute x1 is equal to 0, x2 is equal to 3. Similarly, when you put x2 is equal to 0, your x2 is equal to 0 in your third equation. What will become your x1? X1 is equal to 3. So this region will become 3, comma 0. Okay. So first step is to find out your point so that you can draw it in the graph. Okay. So till here I told you to finish it and keep it. Now I will tell you how to draw it in the graph. Okay. So to draw it in the graph, I will rub the equation here. What I will do, I will rub here. Okay. But I want all these conditions. Okay. Again, we will write it down. So you'll have to understand how you'll have to draw the graph. That is very, very important. So first you listen. So since your values are lying range is lying between 1 to maximum 3 only. Okay, your values are lying from 1 to 3, which is glaring. So since it is lying between 1 to 3, I will take this x1, this as x2. Okay, your values are only for your x1 and your x2. So in your xy plane, you change it to x1 and x2. When you take it this side, this will become minus x1. When you take it this side, it will become minus x2. Okay, so this will be your vertices. You have to name your vertices. Okay, so after that, we since it is starting from 1 to 3, okay, we will take the difference to be in your scale. You take it in your scale so that you will get accurate values. Okay, so in your scale, what you do, you need to have up to 3. Okay, because your highest value is 3, so you need to have up to 3. So I will take a distance like this as 1, and this as 2, and this as 3. Okay, similarly in your x2 also I'm taking it as 1, 2, and 3. Okay, okay, and then I'm marking the points. So your first, for your first equation, it is 0 comma 1, so this will be the point 0 comma 1, and then it is minus 0.5 comma 0. So you have to do some here. Okay, this will be 0.5 and this will be minus. Okay, this is your minus, so it is minus 0.5 comma 0. With your scale and pencil, draw it so that you get an accurate value. Okay, take your scale and pencil and draw it. Okay, if you've got your graph sheets, you can do it in your graph sheets itself. You've got graph sheets. From your next class, you try to do it in your graph sheets also. So I brought a scale so that you can draw it neatly. So with your scale, what you do, you have to join the, okay, so your line will be, you have to extend this line because everything has to be in positive axis. Okay, you not necessary in the negative axis, but in the positive axis, your line has to go. Okay, so this is your line, and write immediately what is that equation for this. What was the equation for your first equation? What was your equation? Minus 2x1. Your equation was minus 2x1 plus x2 is equal to 1. Immediately you have to write that equation. Okay, as soon as you draw the line, write down that equation. Okay, so this will be your first equation line. Your second equation was what? X1 is equal to 2. X1 is equal to 2 means it is 2 comma 0. Okay, so x1 is equal to 2 means this will be the point 2 comma 0. So where is your x1? This one. You have to draw a straight line. Okay, x1 is equal to 2. Okay, and this region will be your x1 is equal to 2, which is your second equation in the question. Okay, so x1 is equal to 2. I have drawn it like this. And your third
Board
equation,
not visible, ma'am.
board is not visible.
ஒரு மாதிரி glare அடிக்குது மேம்.
It is glaring. Yeah. Nice.
மேம் போர்டு இது ஷோ ஆகல மேம்.
Board is not shown now. Board is actually shown. I think it is glaring. Okay, just today you just see for this. I will try to get into another class.
மேம் இந்த போர்டு வந்து ஷேர் ஆகும் மேம் அதுல.
My board is not sharing now. What are you telling? You're not able to see the screen, huh?
Hello, ma'am.
Now is it? Yeah, tell me. Now is it seen?
X1 is equal to 2 ன்னு போட்டிருக்கீங்க லெஃப்ட் சைடு கிராஃப்ல.
Yes, ma'am.
அது
Yes,
எங்க இருந்து
ma'am.
மேம் வந்தது?
X1 is equal to 2.
எஸ் மேம். எங்க இருந்து மேம்?
It is that.
எந்த
It
ஈக்குவேஷன்ல
is direct. It is the second equation in your question.
ஓகே மேம்.
In your question, the second equation is x1 is equal to 2. Okay.
ஓகே மேம்.
So x1 is 2 is nothing but the point 2. So directly we can draw a line. X1 is equal to 2. And your third equation was x1 plus x2 is equal to what? 3. X1 plus x2 is equal to 3. For that, again, mark the points. Okay, you've got 0, 3. So 0, 3 means it will be this point. 0, 3. And then your 3, 0 will be this point. Okay, with your scale and pencil, draw the line. Connect it from here to this line. Okay, connect it with your scale and pencil so that it will be connected. Okay. And immediately, as soon as you draw the straight line, write the equation. Okay, x1 plus x2 is equal to 3. Write your equation. As soon as you mark your points and join the straight line, join it with the straight line. You do write the equation. Now you are able to see little. Okay, have you all drawn the diagram? Any doubts in drawing your diagram? Tell me.
நோ
You
மேம்.
have to find. Yes, ma'am. So first, what you'll have to do, you have to write your inequality as equality sign. After that, you will mark that equation. Find out your values. When x1 is equal to 0, what is your x2? When x2 is equal to 0, what is your x1? Okay. After writing that values, what you have to do, you have to put your graph. Okay. You have to mark the points in the graph and join the points with the straight line. Okay. After drawing that, what you'll have to do, you have to see where all the three lines are intersecting, where all the three lines are having this solution. Okay, that permissible solution. So in this diagram, if you see, where do you see all the three lines intersecting? Okay, so if you see here, if you see in this place, okay, if you see it in your notebook itself, if you see this first region, this region doesn't have this x1 is equal to 2. Okay, this region doesn't have this x1 is equal to 2, where this line is here. Okay, and here if you see, here you have all the directions, but your restrictions is what? Your restriction is always greater than or equal to 0. Okay, so it has to start from your 0 line. Okay, it has to start from your 0 line. So we have to see the region where it is starting from your x1, x2, which is greater than or equal to 0. So all these region. Okay, so all this region, if you see this region, okay, not this region, because in this region we don't have this. Okay, that region is not being considered, so only this region is your feasible solution. Okay, so this region will be your feasible solution. Okay, and so we have to find out the values. Now this will be the points. This point, this point, this point, this point, and this point. Okay, so these will be the points for which you're going to find out the value. Okay, but code is not seen. You able to see? Now you're able to see. If I go here, it is not. Okay, so here is the screen. Okay, so here the feasible solution. Okay, in that this point, this point, this point, this point, and this point. Okay, in that you already know what is this point. This point is nothing but it is 0, 0. Okay, this is your what? Center point, which has got 0, 0. This point, you know, this point is 2, 0. Okay, this point is 2, 0. And here if you see, this is the intersection point of this equation line and this equation line. Okay, so we will name it, we will take it as O, this as A, this as B, this as C, and this as D. Okay, so we already know this. Okay, this is the origin. So origin is nothing but 0, 0, and this point it is here, so we can write it as 2, 0. But this point, when you need to find out, it is the intersection point of x1 is equal to 2 and the equation x1 plus x2 is equal to 3. If you equate these two equations, you will get the value of x1 and x2. Get this. Okay. Similarly, C point you need to find out. It is the intersection point of this equation and this equation. That is minus 2x1 plus x2 is equal to 1 and x1 plus x2 is equal to 3. So if you find out, if you solve these two equations, you can get the point this. Okay. So we will start doing it. Did you understand how you're going to get it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, write it down. All right. So the point O is 0, 0. The point O is nothing but the origin. Okay, the point O is 0, 0. Next, we will go on to A. A is the intersection point. A is the intersection point. Intersection. A is the intersection of, you have x1 is equal to 2. So x1 is equal to 2. Therefore, the point A will be 2, 0. Okay. So the point A will be 2, 0. D is the point. So this is for A. And this is for O. Next we go into B. B is the intersection of what equation? Intersection of this point B, if you see, it is x1 is equal to 2 and it is the point this equation, and x1 plus x2 is equal to 3. Okay, so this is the intersection point of x1 is equal to 2 and x1 plus x2 is equal to 3. So when you substitute x1 is equal to 2 here, you will have x2 is equal to 3 minus 2, which will become x2 is equal to 1. So your B point will become 2, 1. Okay, I have just substituted x1 is equal to 2 in this equation. When you substitute, it will become, you want me to do with steps? It will become like 2 plus x2 is equal to 3. So I need only x2. x2 is equal to 3 minus 2. I have taken it outside. Okay, so minus 2, if I go outside, that you get x2 is equal to 1. Okay. Next, you have found out B. Next, we have to find out C. C is the intersection is the point of intersection. C is the point of intersection, or is the intersection of, okay, right? Point of intersection is the point of intersection. I'll write it like this. Okay, xn. You can tell it as xn also. Intersection short. You can write it as intersection itself. So C is the point of intersection of the equation what? This x1 of x1 plus x2 is equal to 3 and this one and minus 2x1
Ma'am,
plus
camera
x2.
off.
Camera is off. It is on only, ma. For whom it is off?
Now on. It is on, ma'am.
Okay, ma. So now try to solve this equation. Solve it. So you'll have 3x1 is equal to 2. So your x1 is equal to 2 by 3. Okay. Are you getting x1 is equal to 2 by 3? I'm solving that equation. So you'll have 3x1 is equal to 2. Similarly, now substitute this x1 is equal to 2 by 3 in your x1 plus x2 is equal to 3. Substitute it there. When you substitute it, what you'll have? You have 2 by 3 plus x2 is equal to 3. X2 is equal to, if you want, take it LCM. So it will be 2 plus 3x3 is equal to 9. 3x3 is equal to 7. So your x3 is equal to 7 by 3. What is x3? x2. So x2 is equal to 7 by 3. And your point here for your C, it will be C of 2 by 3, comma 7 by 3. Your point will be 2 by 3, comma 7 by 3. Okay. And D, you know, it is the intersection point of 0, comma 1. We have found out for A, found out for B, we have found out for C. Similarly, find out for D also. After C, write the D also. D is the intersection point of what? Intersection point of what? X1 is equal to 0 and X2 is equal to 1. X1 is equal to 0 and X2 is equal to 1. So your D point will be 0, comma 1. So your D point is 0, comma 1. Okay, wow. Have you all finished drawing the diagram? You all finished drawing the diagram? Any doubts you've got? How you're finding out your intersection point? Tell me. How do you get your intersection point? Yes, have you all finished writing? Your A value, B value, C value, D value?
Just a minute, ma'am.
Okay. I will drop the graph. Graph also here.
மேம் மொபைல் கொஞ்சம் கீழே காமிங்க மேம், போர்டு கீழே தெரில மேம்.
You want to see that?
யா ஓகே மேம். So after finding out that points, what you'll have to do is you'll have to write the vertices of the solution. The vertices of the solution are, you'll have to write all the vertices. O is 0, comma 0. That is your origin. Your origin is 0, comma 0. And then your A is 2, comma 0. B is 2, comma 1. C is 2 by 3, comma 7 by 3 and D is 0, 1. Okay. Now in your question they've asked you have to find out your maximum value. Okay. What was your first question? Max Z is equal to, you have to find out max Z is equal to 3x1 plus 2x2. Okay, so you'll have to find out your maximum value. So write all your vertices which you've got. Okay, and your equation is max Z is equal to 3x1 plus 2x2. Okay, so your points are origin 0, 0, then A 2, 0, B 2, 1, C 2 by 3, 7 by 3, and then your D 0, 1. Okay, so in your max Z, what you have to do is you have to substitute instead of your x1, you have to substitute 0, 0. X2, you have to substitute 0. So when you substitute here, it becomes 0. Next, for A, if you substitute, it will become x1 is 2. So it will become 6. Your x2 is 0. Similarly, find out for all the values. Find out. Anyone still writing right hand side? So when you substitute, what do you get? For B, B2 x1 is 2, so 6 plus x2 is 1. So when you substitute, what do you get? You all done? So when you substitute, what do you get? 8. Very good. Then for C, 3 gets cancelled, so you'll have 2 plus 9, 14 by 3. Plus 14 by 3, what do you get? 20 by 3. Are you getting 20 by 3? So 20 by 3, right in decimals? What are you getting? Are you getting 6.6? Then your last one, you substitute 0, 0, it becomes 0. You have to. Now this is your max value. Okay, so which value has got your maximum value? Where you're getting your maximum value here, you're getting your maximum value to be 8. Okay, your max Z is equal to 8 at the point 2, 1, which is your B vertex. Okay, so you'll have to conclude it like that. All right, your max Z is equal to 8 at the point or at the vertex D 2, okay, in the question, if at all it is one word, they will ask you x1 is equal to 2 and x2 is equal to 1. Your max Z is equal to 8. So you're going to you're right. Did you understand how you're finding out your maximum value? Your maximum value for all the vertex, you'll find the value. Okay, as soon as you find all the value, you have to see whichever is your maximum value, that will become your max Z. Okay, if at all it was min Z, whichever has got your minimum value, that will become the min Z. At the point, you'll have to write what point or at the vertex, whatever vertex. Okay, and conclude. Okay, this will be your optimum solution also. You can, if they're asking in the question, find the optimum solution. The optimum solution is max Z is equal to 8 at the vertex B 2, 1. Here you've got it as B. Any point, okay, whatever point you're getting, you will write it. Write it.